morning from Bluff, Utah. Lucy and Ricky are rock stars. These little cars have carried us so far across the U.S. so far, and we have seen some absolutely incredible sights. I mean, it really has been a trip of a lifetime, and it's been really fun to carry all of you guys along with us. So we're in Bluff, Utah right now. We're kind of looking ahead at what there is in front of us. There's definitely some really cool landscapes still to see. And we're going to get on the road and go find it. I think we're probably going to kind of push for maybe Kingman, Arizona as a stopping point for tonight. It seems about midway between here and Oceanside. It's still going to be quite a bit of a push. I think it's about 370 miles or so, but that leaves us about the same for Monday. So that means we'll be rolling into Oceanside, Monday afternoon if we get an early start, or Monday evening if we end up stopping a lot. We are going to be going through Barstow and things like that, and it's supposed to be pretty hot. So Monday's progress might be a little slow. But in any case, it's Sunday. It's a beautiful day here, Bluff, Utah. I'm going to go find some coffee and pack up, and we'll get out of here. I absolutely love this hotel. It is a very cool spot. Morning. On the road again, Bluff, Utah. Look at those amazing mountains out there. And it's a gorgeous morning. Our first stop, or our first destination, hopefully to hit for lunch, will be Flagstaff, Arizona. So we'll continue on and say goodbye to beautiful Utah and see the wonders of Arizona. Grab a bite to eat, and then I think we'll continue on a bit after that. We're going to try to get to maybe Kingman, Arizona for the night. But man, really cool hotel where we stayed that last night. I loved it, and the scenery was great. People were awesome, and the cars seemed happy and ready to go to the next destination. God, GPS just sucks. We're trying to share destinations between each other, and we're trying to take the scenic route, and GPS always pushes you the fastest route, and it's just stupid because then you miss shit like this. And we're going to be going through Monument Valley going this direction, and you'd miss that if you took the direction that you just casually put in, oh, we're going to Flagstaff. That's just not cool. We're only here once. Let's see the best stuff, not the fastest stuff. Fantastic day. It's such a great landscape to be driving through. Slow that one down a little bit. It's a bigger corner than I thought, but look at that road, the way that it goes off into the distance there. Nobody on it but us. So cool. Another steep climb here for Lucy. We're third gear, but we're going to be entering Monument Valley here shortly, I think, and maybe we'll see something cool right over the top of this rise. But yeah, very cool. I just love that there's nobody out here. There's something really fun about being on a road with no traffic in front of you, especially when you live in Southern California like I do, where traffic is always a thing. John back behind me there in the Gia, he was leading until I saw him start to make a turn onto the fastest route, which we've got no time for. Let's see the good stuff. And here we go. This is what is at the other end of the scenic route. Can you imagine taking the fastest route to save 5 minutes and not go through Monument Valley? Come on now. called Valley of the Gods, which I understand is really one of the most spectacular spots along this route. We do have some miles to cover, so we're going to miss that, but I will come back and check that out at some point. But Monument Valley here, what a great road. So good. Hey, we're going through the town of Mexican Hat right now, and unfortunately I missed the Mexican Hat Rock. I saw it on the side of the road, but didn't get a chance to get the camera out to get it. But look it up, Mexican Hat Rock. It is probably one of the coolest formations I've seen. It literally looks like a Mexican hat upside down up on top of this crazy peak. Just so wild the way nature does that. All right, Forrest Gump Hill, they call this. Obviously that's where this is, some of that was filmed. And there's some beautiful jewelry.
They don't like to start, so you know.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, that'll teach you. You don't like to start, we're not
I
gonna
think
turn it
that one. So Forrest Gump Hill. And we are on Indian Reservation here and grabbing a little local jewelry, little souvenir. And then let's get back on this amazing, amazing road. So I just kept running. That's definitely what this beetle's been doing. Just keeps running. So cool. Everybody's got to get their Forrest Gump shot. I love it. It's amazing how a film like that can touch so many people. Fantastic. Check this out, wild horse. Cool. Stop for a quick photo op here, and we're talking with a couple that was from Germany. Go figure. In fact, we've heard a lot of Germans out here in the desert on our trip across. And of course, they always relate to the Käfer. It's been really fun traveling in these cars. No matter where the people are from, they enjoy these machines. That's incredible landscape. John is loving this part of the trip. Okay, we are leaving Utah and entering Arizona. What an amazing travel through there. I think Utah was probably the most incredible, just visually, of everything that we've seen. What do you think of Utah?
I love Utah. Go ahead.
Incredible.
Arizona.
All right, here we go. One step closer to home. So, rolling into Arizona. Obviously, the landscape doesn't know what a border's all about. It is still just absolutely glorious out here. And it's fun to have the Gia in front of me, that little spot of blue against the colors of this landscape. It's too good. Kind of neat formation there. The colors of the rocks, obviously, we're going much grayer than all the red of what's around. What we've gone through. Beautiful sky, little puffy white clouds. Happy Sunday. This road, though, I've traveled this road before. In fact, a couple years ago, I did a road trip with my 90-year-old mom out to visit my brother there in Paonia. And we drove this exact same path. And it was somewhere right around here where there was a rainstorm kind of coming through. And we were driving my Porsche Boxster. We had the top down, just soaking up life. And I asked my mom if we should put the top up in case it rained. She said no. And that spoke volumes as to who she was and what life is all about. You know, sometimes you just got to go for it. Turns out it didn't rain on us, but if it did, I think that would have been fantastic, because I know we would have been laughing together and having a really good time. A little rain isn't going to hurt you, a little dirt on your wheels. Just getting out on the road, it's really, really good for your head. So cheers to Mom. She's now up there somewhere, but I know she's watching this and she's along for the ride. There's another very cool little outcropping here. Pull over and get a photo or two. So quick little stop to get a little footage here of these two guys. I don't know, for some reason they remind me of the aliens from The Simpsons. I think it's Kang and Kodos or something like that. But pretty awesome. I love the blue of the Gia with the sky. And good old Lucy, running like a champ.
Proceed to the route.
Too fun. These things are pretty cool. The lady selling the jewelry down here says that they are elephant's feet, which I kind of like. The scale of them is pretty amazing, though. Love it. Very straight, very dry, very Arizona. Tuba City. Welcome to Tuba City, Arizona. I have no idea why they call it that, but that's where we are. It's interesting. We're kind of back to some red rock stuff here, just outside of Tuba City. We're on our way to Flagstaff right now. Now apparently there's dinosaur tracks out here somewhere, and I'm sure people selling Indian jewelry. We're making our own tracks here, and it is starting to warm up. Yay, a big downhill. I'm gonna hold on tight. Come on, Lucy, let's go. Okay, now we've joined Highway 89 south towards Flagstaff. I think it's at 67 miles before we get there. We're gonna stop for lunch and flag, and then plan the rest of our attack. 10,000 foot a little while ago, and I see a pretty big climb up ahead. The temperature has also cooled down quite a bit, which is real nice. There's some cool little flowers along the side of the road, and it's really quite pleasant. Now, Flagstaff is a spot where a lot of Arizonans go to kind of get out of the heat. And I think we will be diving down into the heat on our descent from this area. But we're going to stop at a place called Agave Mexican Restaurant. It's said to be one of the best kind of cool, unique restaurants in the area, and it's right on Route 66. So that seems like a cool place to stop, get a bite to eat, look at the road ahead, look at the temperatures ahead, and plan our attack. But this is really stunning out here right now, especially under these clouds. This very clean, wonderful road. Driving in Miss Lucy. Just passed a sign that said 7,000 feet. Looks like they're doing some road work here, and they've blocked off all but one lane. So undoubtedly, by the time we reach the top of this hill, we're going to have a big line of people back behind us. But that's all right. It is what it is. Lucy's doing the best she can, and I'm super proud of her. Well done, girl. You climbed that line. Yes, I'm talking to my car. Is that okay? I think so. Beautiful, beautiful up here. Unfortunately, there is an area back there where it looked like a lot of those trees had burned, but there's still a lot left. And the weather is so nice and cool up here. So John has been kind of keeping track of mileage on Ricky there, and he said that he just passed over about 3,200 miles so far. Now, we drove the Kia just a little bit farther than the Beetle here, because we drove the Kia to pick up the Beetle, but that was maybe 50 miles or so. So 3,200 miles, and we still have quite a bit to go. So it's going to be interesting to see what the final count is once we get to Oceanside. Look at those pretty flowers out there, purple ones. There's some daisies. It was real heavy back there. I kind of missed a big part of it. Really gorgeous. Okay, we're on I-40 now, and we're going to get off in the Flagstaff Historic District here to grab a little lunch. Okay, we're actually on Route 66 now, which is kind of a neat little swap over from Route 50. This historic sign here, Western Hills Motel, is really cool, and I've heard that this Agave restaurant is pretty tasty, and we need food, and maybe margaritas. Okay, so since we're on Route 66, we decided to screw the route that we had planned, and we're just going to take 66 and see where we end up, and see if we can find some old Americana along the way. But man, look at those skies. Incredible. Very cool old town. Check this out. The train station's fantastic. This cool old building. Old Town Flagstaff is killer. I'd love to get back and just check that out. So this is really awesome. I've been on Route 66 through a lot of different areas, but never through Flagstaff. And Flagstaff is beautiful. I mean, we're up at a high elevation, it's, 6,000-7,000 feet or so. Got all the pine trees, which are beautiful, and the weather is nice and cool, and our lunch stop was great. The margarita was tasty. I only had one, I'm fine, and it'll be interesting to follow this through. I know eventually this kind of blends into Route 40, so we'll probably end up on 40 for a good bit of this, but we'll try to...
In 1 mile, merge onto I-40 West.
Here we go. It's telling me to get on I-40 West. But anyway, we'll try to follow 66 for a bit, and if we do get on I-40, we'll try to get off whenever there's an opportunity. So we just crossed what they call the Arizona Divide, so 7,337 feet, and looks like we have about 487 miles to Los Angeles if we continue on this route. So Route 40 through this part of the area is really super pretty, and the weather's cool, so we're just kind of rocking with it. But I think once we get down the hill a little bit, we may get off onto old Route 66 through Seligman and some of those other little towns. Then we can slow it down a little bit and see what we can see. But this part of 40 is really, really pretty. Now we're on the big grade down into the desert floor. It's be interesting to see how the temperature rises as we get down there. I'm thankful to see some cloud cover, though. That should hopefully help us. But 6% grade. These truckers are crazy and they're hauling ass. But, you know, they've got a job to do. We don't. So here we are in Ash Fork, Arizona. Definitely some great old Route 66 stuff going on here. This is a part of the trail that has been totally bypassed by 40. We have a pipe trading post. There we go, some great old Route 66-y stuff. On 2 lanes again. Interstate 40 is brutal. Those truckers coming down the grade are insane. John almost got run off the road. Let's stick to this as much as we can. I know at some point we've got to get back on with the big boys, but let's take this little slow road here, the old Route 66, what's left of it, and we'll see some of the sights. It would be more fun go by air if we could put these signs up there. Burma shave. So much happier than Route 40. So much happier. Let that world go by as fast as it wants. And let 2 lanes take me away. Look at the horses out there in the field. Blue skies, the flowers. Yes, yes, yes. Ride to cross. Fast train neared. Death didn't draft him. He volunteered. There you go. Awesome little Route 66 car collection. Obviously somebody that's into the same shit that you gotta love it. Here we are, Seligman, Arizona. This is probably the most touristy spot of remaining Route 66. And it's pretty damn good. I mean, there's some just great stuff. You got the burger place, you got the gas station, and it's just some awesome Route 66-y thingsies here. Let's pull over and get a couple pictures if we can. So we pulled up in front of one of these places there, kind of an open spot where you can get pictures of your cars in front of a good building and good signs and that sort of thing. I mean, a lot of people drive their old cars out on Route 66. It's definitely a path that's fun to take because it's history here in America. In any case, it is definitely a good tourist spot. You can buy all sorts of trinkets with Route 66 on them. It was fun to spend just a little time bouncing around town and snapping a few pictures for the photo album. I loved this really faded American sign or American flag on the side of that building. It was definitely really rad. Anyway, we did top up on the gas tanks so that we could aim out further into the desert and grabbed a couple of cold drinks because it was starting to warm up. But we have an adventure ahead. We want to try to make it to Kingman, Arizona for the night. But definitely couldn't miss the opportunity of snapping a few pics of our trusty rides here in these beautiful, colorful stables of Seligman.
They say as you get older, you start to reflect and take on new hobbies. So I thought it'd be a good idea to start writing children's books. Here's what I've come up with. Whining, kicking, and crying to get your way. Eggs, toilet paper, and your school. Places where mommy and daddy hide neat things. I can't seem to get a publisher though. Guess I'll have to take up golf after all.
Right on. Some root beer. Get it? On Route 66. Rolling right along. Our next spot that I think we'll stop will be Kingman, Arizona. And I'm so pleased that we're back on two-lane roads. Excellent. But we got some great photos in Seligman. That is definitely a great place with packed full of tourists and Route 66 memorabilia. It's all good. We gassed up. We're on the road. Feeling good. The temperatures are staying reasonable. And we kind of have the end in sight. I don't think we're going to quite get to Oceanside tonight. We'll probably end up finishing off tomorrow. But having a good time. This was another little vignette we absolutely had to stop at. Loved that little chef graphic cafe, that long arm. Really, really super, super, super cool. Pretty awesome little pasture here, the train going by. That. We're somewhere, Arizona, Route 66. Trucking along. I think we're maybe a half hour, 40 minutes away from Kingman, I think. Something like that. Making good time. Unfortunately, the heat hasn't gotten too bad. The cloud cover has helped significantly with that. The cars are running great, and man, we're kind of talking about our final day tomorrow and what we're going to do. We might kind of rally the troops and see if anybody wants to meet up with us at the end. That might be kind of cool. So watch for a social media post. Once we figure out what time we think we'll be rolling into Oceanside. But this is a really beautiful little spot we're coming through here. looks like we got a pretty crazy accident going on here on Route 66. We're stuck in this big lineup out here, and you know that this isn't the sort of traffic that's usually on here. Yep, this was a bad one. Solo car rollover. Prayers to those involved. Well, that definitely slowed our progress, but it did make for some nice lighting for the final part of our trip as the sun was starting to set in the west. So Arizona is definitely a beautiful state to travel through. It's not quite as grand as Utah, of course, but some great little bits and details and stuff everywhere you look. Hitting Route 66 was something that we definitely didn't plan on doing on this trip, but I'm definitely not mad about it. It was a great side trip, and it just made sense if we're going to come south to try to aim towards San Diego. Rather than continue on 50 out to Sacramento, that we try to stick to some two-lane roads and try to find some history like we did along the way, all the way across the country. So Route 66 it is, and it's definitely been a blast so far. Now we're not hitting a whole heck of a lot of it. Really, it's just 66 in Arizona, and then maybe we'll see some in California once we get to that point. But as the sun sets here and we start nearing our destination for the night, we are definitely looking forward to cold beer, a good meal, and then our final day of travel into Oceanside, California. I hope you have enjoyed the trip so far, and stay tuned for the next and final episode of our cross-country